everybody, happy Friday. I'm here with today's maths lesson and so is Shetty. She's on the windowsill on her cat bed. She's just waving hi and cleaning. So let's have a look at the starter task. I decided that we'd have a little bit of a revision on angles. Right, so on screen you can see 4 different types of angles. And you can see at the side well there are 5 descriptions, but you'll only need 4 of them. So you can either write this down or just point on your screen. You need to match the type of angle with its name and description. Okay, the type and description come as a pair. Okay, so pause the video and see what you can remember. Okay, I'm going to show you the answers so you can see how well you've done. So an acute angle is an angle that is less than 90 degrees. So this is an example of an acute angle. This one's an obtuse angle. Obtuse angles are greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. And 180 degrees is a straight line. This one is a right angle, so that is exactly 90 degrees, and you can always tell if it's a right angle. They have the square symbol, but sometimes in tests they show a right angle, but they don't always put the square to try and catch you out. Then this one down here is a reflex angle, so this angle is greater than 180 degrees. Okay. So it's coming up to a full turn, and a full turn would be how many degrees? 360. Okay, so we'll do a little bit more angle revision on Monday. I've decided that I will post lessons until next Thursday, and it's up to you if you want to join in or not. So, we have got a few more angles tasks actually. I always forget what I've got. So, on screen you can see some more facts relating to angles. We've definitely covered all of these facts in school. I'm wondering if you can work out what number or word should go in each of the rectangles. So angles on a straight line add up to how many degrees? 180, we just spoke about that one. Angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Okay, any triangle, okay, if it's got 3 sides and it's a triangle, the angles will add up to 180 degrees. If the triangle is isosceles, okay, so isosceles triangles sometimes look like this, the base angles, so the angles that are black, are always equal. They are the same size, okay? And each angle in an equilateral triangle is 60 degrees. You can see that on the diagram. And a full turn, so an angle that goes around the whole point, adds up to 360 degrees. Now yesterday we were looking at related fractions and non-related fractions. And we worked out that related fractions are fractions where one of the denominators is a multiple of the other denominator. So that means you only have to change one of the fractions to be able to calculate the answer. So to start off with today, we're going to look at the non-related fractions. So the ones that are highlighted on screen. And we're going to start with 1/3 add 1/8. Okay, so in that question, we need to change both of the fractions to equivalent fractions in order to find the common denominator so that we can get to the answer. Now I wrote out my multiples of 3 and my multiples of 8, and it was clear that 24 is the lowest common multiple. So I've set up on screen, I've done my loops for you, so you might want to write this on your piece of paper. Can you convert 1/3 into 24ths and 1/8 into 24ths? Do that now, please. Pause the video. Right, I'm going to reveal my workings. So remember, whatever you do to the denominator, you do the same to the numerator. So 1/3 is 8/24, and 1/8 is 3/24. So to calculate the answer, you will need to do 8/24 add 3/24. Remember that you only add the numerators together and the denominator stays the same. So can you write down the answer to the calculation? The answer is 11/24, and that is in its simplest form. Okay. Now let's have a look at this one. So we've got 1/9 add 1/4. So the first job for you to do on your piece of paper will be to write down some multiples of 9 and to write down some multiples of 4 and then to circle the common denominator. Now if you already know a number that is both a multiple of 9 and 4, then you can skip that part. Do that now. What is the common denominator? So I wrote down my 9's first. I only wrote down a few because I recognise 36. 36 is the lowest common multiple of 9 and 4. 36 is in the 9 times table and the 4 times table. So now I'm going to convert 1/9 into 36 and 1/4 into 36. So can you do that on your piece of paper? Because remember, you cannot add fractions or subtract fractions until the denominator is the same. Do this now. Pause the video. Okay, I'm going to reveal my answer, so pause the video if you're still working. So I got 4/36 and 9/36. I multiplied by 9 and I multiplied by 4. So what's the answer? 9/36 add 4/36 is equal to 13/36. Okay, and that's in the simplest form. Now we've got this one, 1/5 add 1/8. So it's the same process. Okay, and the more you do this, the more confident you'll feel. So first of all, write down multiples of 8 and multiples of 5 and find the number that's in both the 8 times table and the 5 times table. If you already know a number, then you can just skip that part. So find for me the common denominator. Okay, I'm going to reveal my workings. So 40 is the lowest common denominator, it's the lowest common multiple, sorry. So I'm going to convert both fractions into 40ths. So I've set it up on screen, so you need to copy that onto your piece of paper if you haven't already written it down. Remember, whatever you do to the denominator, you do the same to the numerator. Complete this question, please, and write down the answer as well. Right, I'm going to reveal my answer. So I've got 8/40 and 5/40. And I'm just going to get my final answer. So 8/40 add 5/40 equals 13/40. I'll just quickly show you. It's quite funny. Shetty likes to sit in cardboard boxes, so she's all comfy. Just thought I'd show you that. And Betty is just cleaning her nails next to her bed. Right, let's carry on. So now we've got another question, so we'll just practice once more. So we've got 1/5 add 1/15. So can you do this one? So remember first, well actually in this question, we've got related fractions. So you only need to change one of those fractions. Which fraction do you think needs to change? Okay, you need to change 1/5 into 15ths. Can you do that? And then can you work out the answer? Pause the video and have a go. Right, I'm going to reveal my answers. So I made 1/5 into 3/15 by multiplying by 3. Then 3/15 add 1/15 equals 4/15. Did you get that? Share your work with me after the lesson. Same again here, so we've got related fractions. So this should be a known fact. I don't think you need to do any workings for this question. What's a half in quarters? Once you've worked it out, add it to 1/4 and get the answer. Write it down. Okay. So a half is equal to 2/4. So you multiply the denominator and numerator by 2. And then the final answer is 3/4. What's that as a decimal? 3/4 is 0.75. Okay, and you've got, I think these are the final 2 questions, but who knows, with me I always forget. So can you complete 1/8 add 1/4 and 1/3 add 1/12? You've got some clues on screen to help you. Can you work out the answers to both of those questions? And in both questions you only need to change one of the fractions because the fractions are related, because 8 is a multiple of 4 and 12 is a multiple of 3. Pause the video and see if you can complete the answers. Right, let me reveal. There's my working. So 1/4 is the same as 2/8. So the answer to that question is 3/8. 1/3 is the same as 4/12. So the answer to this question is 5/12. Now on screen, if you'd like to do some more, if you'd like to practice some more, then you can complete as many of these as you'd like to, and then afterwards I'll reveal the answers on screen. All of these questions, both fractions are related, okay? So in each question, one of the denominators is a multiple of the other. So actually, I think on the next screen, I've highlighted the fraction that needs changing in each question. So if you'd like to see which fraction needs changing, then I'm going to reveal that now. If you're happy, press pause and complete as many as you'd like. So I've highlighted the fractions that need to be changed before you can get to the answer. So 18 is a multiple of 6, 21 is a multiple of 7, and so on. So same process as before, you need to do your loops like this, set out workings clearly, and then once you've got the common denominator, only add the numerators together, keep the denominator the same. Have a go. Pause the video. Right, I'm going to reveal the answers. So you can see my workings on the screen. So I made 1 6 3/18. Then I did 3/18 add 1/18 equals 4/18. Then I worked out that fraction can be simplified. So you could have also written 2/9. That's the simplest form. Okay, if I go through one more, I won't talk through all of them. 5/15 is the same as 1/3. Because I divided both sides by 5, or multiplied by 5, and then I added it to 1/15, I got 6/15. That's the simplest form. So press pause and mark your work, and that's the end of today's session. I hope you have a really lovely weekend.